Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of our channel. Hey, everyone, it's the Mad Mattster. Thank you for checking out this channel. If you have been here before, welcome back. We really appreciate your continued support, and as always, if you could hit that thumbs up button, we'd all be very grateful because it helps us reach more people. In today's video, we're going to go into the history of John Sykes. We'll talk about his time in Tigers of Pan Tang, Thin Lizzy, Whitesnake, Blue Murder, and his solo career, and address the controversy that happened leading to the falling out between him and David Coverdale. We'll also address the recent allegations made by some that he didn't play rhythm guitars on the 1987 record, how it's also been contradicted by many, including Coverdale himself in recent videos. And we'll finish off by talking about the tragic death of Sykes and how his influence will be felt for years to come. So, let's just get right into it. John James Sykes was born 29th of July, 1959 in Reading, Berkshire. At age 14, Sykes took an interest in the guitar when his uncle showed him how to play some of Eric Clapton's licks. For the next 2 years, he practiced playing blues songs on an old nylon string guitar. Upon returning to Reading, Sykes entered a relationship and essentially gave up the guitar for a year and a half. After moving to Blackpool, Sykes resumed playing and was asked to join the band Street Fighter by his friend Mervyn Goldsworthy, who would later play bass in Diamond Head, Samson, and FM. Sykes made his recording debut on the Street Fighter track She's No Angel, which appeared on the new wave of British heavy metal compilation New Electric Warriors in 1980. Afterwards, he left Street Fighter to join Tigers of Pan Tang. Sykes recorded 2 albums with the group, Spellbound and Crazy Nights, which were both released in 1981. By the following year, however, Sykes had grown frustrated with the band as he and vocalist John Deverell would often butt heads with the other members. Additionally, he felt the group lacked both the style and dedication to achieve major success. Sykes left Tigers of Pan Tang in early 1982, 2 days before the start of a French tour. However, he appears on 2 tracks on the band's 4th album, The Cage, which was released after he had already departed. After leaving Tigers of Pan Tang, Sykes auditioned for Ozzy Osbourne's band and was briefly a member of John Sloman's Badlands. Despite a few shows and Sloman procuring a recording contract with EMI, the group ultimately broke up. After more touring, Sykes left the band in 1981 to join Thin Lizzy. During his time with the band, Sykes shared lead guitar duties with Scott Gorham. Together, they relaced a very new wave of British heavy metal-influenced record, Thunder and Lightning, the standout song being the title track and Cold Sweat, the latter of which Sykes wrote all on his own. Sykes also played on the band's 1983 live album, Life. He also took the opportunity, after gaining a burgeoning friendship with Phil Lynott, to have Lynott sing on Sykes's first solo single, Please Don't Leave Me, which a lot of people consider to have one of the most emotional guitar solos of all time. In late 1983, Sykes left Thin Lizzy to join forces with David Coverdale in Whitesnake. Sykes' first album with Whitesnake was Slide It In 1984. He was certified gold in the UDNS. The following year, Sykes started recording what was to be the band's most successful album, Whitesnake, or 1987, depending on what part of the planet you were on, which went double platinum. It featured the hit singles Here I Go Again, Is This Love, and Don't Turn Away. The album was certified 8 times platinum. After the release of the album, Sykes was fired from Whitesnake due to differences between him and Coverdale, depending on who you asked. One apocryphal story goes that when Coverdale had to take a break from vocals due to a sinus infection, Sykes was alleged to be looking for another singer. No proof was ever revealed of this, however, and this remains a contemporary at the time story that Coverdale had of their falling out. Sykes maintained that this was never true and is disputed to this day. After the release of the album, Sykes was fired from Whitesnake due to these differences between him and Coverdale, for reasons of which, of course, like said before, depending on who you asked. In 1987, Sykes formed the band Blue Murder. The band's self-titled debut album was released in 1989 and featured the hit single Jelly Roll and other barnstormers like Valley of the Kings. On this album, Sykes had made the conscious choice to assume vocal as well as guitar duties, a choice that brought him acclaim for having a great mastery of both. The album was of limited commercial success, and it is rumored that Sykes may have blamed its lack of promotion on Coverdale's ascension in the music industry and knowing the right people who may had sabotaged his career. No proof of this exists, however, and by 1989 the seeds of the 90s hard rock crash were already apparent, which may had contributed to Blue Murder not being the smash it was expected to be. They released a second album, Nothing But Trouble, in 1993, which didn't fare as well in the West but saw huge sales in Japan and was of no less quality than the self-titled release. After parting ways with Geffen Records in 1994, Sykes signed with the Japanese branch of Mercury Records and released his first solo album, Out of My Tree, in August 1995. This was followed up by Loveland and 20th Century, which were released in 1997. The former had originally been commissioned by Mercury as an extended play of ballads, while the latter served as a companion record to dispel accusations that Sykes had gone soft. All three albums charted in Japan. Following the release Nuclear Cowboy in 2000, Sykes attempted to procure a European release for his solo albums through Zed Records. When this didn't materialize, he signed a deal with Burnside Distribution in 2003, which made his solo catalog available in the U.S. for the first time. In 2005, Sykes released the live album Bad Boy Live, which remains his final release to this day. According to guitarist Richard Fortus, Sykes also auditioned for Guns N' Roses in 2009. During an appearance on That Metal Show in 2011, Sykes revealed he was forming a new band with Dream Theater drummer Mike Portnoy. Also attached to the project was bassist Billy Sheehan. However, Eddie Trunk confirmed in 2012 that the project, tentatively titled Bad Apple, was no longer moving forward. According to Trunk, Sykes was not on the same timetable as Portnoy and Sheehan. Sykes was later replaced by Richie Kotzen, and the group became the Winery Dogs. In 2013, Sykes revealed he was working on a new solo album. Samples from the record were released in 2014, and Sykes discussed it in a 2017 interview with Young Guitar magazine. In January 2019, it was announced that Sykes had signed a recording contract with Golden Robot Records with the intent of releasing the album that same year. However, in November 2019, Sykes announced that he had ended his partnership with Golden Robot Records. On 1 January 2021, Sykes released Dawning of a Brand New Day, his first new song in over 20 years. The video single, released on YouTube, was controversial due to a number of elements that brought up conspiracy theories and other edgy topics. This was followed up by Out Alive in July. These two songs display the amazing singing, musicianship, and songwriting we've come to know and love from Sykes, and it seemed like he was slated to have a comeback of monumental proportions. The full-length album was plagued with delay as before, and comments by Eddie Trunk and others indicated that it may never be released. Mental illness and lifelong feuds contributed to the toxic holding over of what is likely an unreleased masterpiece. Sadly, Sykes died of cancer in December 2024, dashing all hopes had of a potential comeback, and the album still remains unreleased to this day. Now let's address the recent allegations made by some that he didn't play rhythm guitars on the 1987 record. How it's also been contradicted by many, including Coverdale himself in recent videos. Well, there doesn't seem to be any evidence or truth to these allegations. In fact, Coverdale has stated that Sykes played all of the guitar parts on the album except for the solo on Here I Go Again, which was played by Adrian Vandenberg. This has been backed up by many videos on the 35th and 40th anniversary editions of albums made by Whitesnake on Coverdale and his own YouTube channel. Also, Noon but producer Keith Olsen has made this allegation in 2018 on various message boards, While it is true that there were other guitarists on an EP made up of more radio-friendly versions called 1987 versions, released after the 1987 band split up that has guitarists like Dan Huff on it. This a markedly different reality than Olsen claims. Also, no one like Bob Rock, who engineered the guitar sound on 1987 and produced Blue Murder, nor has anyone else come forward. Could it be that Olsen was mixing these two releases up? After all, Dan Huff playing on the radio-friendly mix of Here I Go Again is quantifiably different than Sykes' playing. The legendary Sykes sound is all over the 1987 self-titled record and is replicated and duplicated to perfection with the first Blue Murder album and beyond. Huff-Easy style is completely different, and this rumor to me caused unnecessary drama and harm to one of my favorite guitarists of all time. Let's close this out. There's nothing controversial about John Sykes. He was a great guitar player who sadly passed away too young. His influence will be felt for years to come, though he was unfairly maligned and thrown to the margins in the music industry because of Coverdale using other musicians who didn't play on the 1987 to pose in the subsequent videos from the album to stand in for Sykes. He felt aggrieved by the flailing music industry, and this left him bitter and uncertain. Definitely an influence on him not releasing a brand new album for over 20 years. But his legacy remains in every shredder who grows up listening to him, in his vibrato, his songs, his soul. Everyone from Michael Amott to Zakk Wylde carry his legacy forward, and this is more worth it in a way than multiple platinum albums and every normie knowing your name. That's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this video and we hope you learned something new. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of John Sykes and what your favorite song of his is. And while you're down there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future installments of videos like this or any other content we put out. Thanks for watching, and please remember the subscribe and like button. That's about all. Peace out.